What's our view on ICOs in the next, what's the outlook? So it didn't exist. Yeah. I went back and looked. ICO as a term didn't exist before March of this year. So still a brand new white space, the greenfield,
so
right?
So essentially what a startup does is they say, okay, we want to raise money, and they issue a digital currency. So initial coin offering. Mm-hmm. So they're basically creating their own cryptocurrency. Mm-hmm. So think about it as a stock market, and you buy a piece of stock. So every coin is kind of the equivalent of a piece of stock. And they're creating their own, and we know that there's a finite amount of these, and we know that what the value is, and again, because we have blockchain.
But does that work? If instead of being, a currency is 180 currencies in the world, and then you have stock exchanges which have literally millions of instruments tracked. So why would we create a new currency for every instrument, right? So it's like IBM stock would have its own US dollar, it would have IBM dollar. That doesn't work for me.
That's why we're going with this. The term coin, we think about it as money. Mm-hmm. And it's a token. A token can essentially be any digital thing that has a certain value. Mm-hmm. So I think about it more as a stock. These ICOs are kind of the equivalent of a stock.
It's more equivalent to a stock than it is a currency.
Well, that's
important for people to know.
Then that's the beauty of Ethereum. Ethereum allowed, kind of set up the base for people to do this. I think ICOs are fantastic. Personally, if I would be wary of doing an ICO myself, depending on the type of business I'm trying to set up. If I was aiming for very, very I'm aiming big. I want to create a huge type of business. I want to create the next Facebook. I know I'm going to need more funding, and I know I'm going to need to play with all these existing institutions. And right now, there is no straightforward rules for that. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if by going for an ICO, I'm burning the bridge of potentially getting smart money later on. Mm-hmm. And I still think venture capital money is smart money. Mm-hmm. You can't, just because you get a ton of money doesn't make you create a good business. And
they're gambling, but they're gambling smart. So they're doing a lot of diligence before they make investments, and they're also playing the numbers game. So they say we'll make 100 investments, and we might win on 1 to 5, right? But they're doing it in a very structured way.
And they're helping you to get people that invest in these businesses actually want to make them succeed. Mm-hmm. So that's what these big investors.
So they throw in a lot of resources to help it grow.
If Sequoia invests in your startup, you're halfway there.
Yeah.
And these guys will help you get the other part. When you get a ton of money from an ICO, it's like, okay, well, I got a ton of money, we can build stuff. Mm-hmm. As a techie, that sounds really exciting. Cool, I don't have to worry about it. I can just build my cool stuff.
Yeah.
But are you really getting any validation from the market soon enough? Do you really have people pushing you to test things? Are you really getting closer to your market, or are you just building tech?
Trust me, for me, I'm a trained accountant who comes from an auditing background and studied the financials of companies for 20 years, and I'm a startup coach. So for me, it makes my skin crawl. First, you build product. The way I grew up in the world, you build a product, then you build a great firm out of it with a fantastic culture, and then you get more investment to grow that idea and sell more product. What ICOs seem to do for me is get a bunch of money, and God knows what happens with it. So it just makes my skin crawl.
I'm sure there's some fantastic companies that go through ICOs right now.
I think there will be.
And this is a great instrument, and what did you say? It's March. This is so new.
Yeah.
So, of course, there's now a lot of people going to start abusing the system. It's like, this is a great way of making a ton of money very quickly, and then go off to the beach.
But for all the guys who are a little bit bored as partners at the big auditing firms right now, please make a career out of this. If you're at Deloitte, PwC, wherever you are in the world, if you're from the diligence profession, you should be all over this, because this is the future of what you can be auditing. Create a new P&L line out of that. Alan and I will come and consult with you.